Have you ever wondered why some people seem to move through life with calm confidence, while others are trapped in cycles of stress, regret, and chaos? What if the real difference isn't luck, talent, or circumstance, but something much closer to home? Imagine having the power to control the four forces that quietly shape your entire existence: your words, your mind, your mood, and your money. Imagine being able to pause in the heat of the moment, speak with purpose, think clearly under pressure, protect your peace, and make decisions that serve your future, not just your impulses. This isn't just a dream. It's a skill set, a blueprint for true freedom and unstoppable growth. In a noisy world that pulls you in every direction, learning to master yourself is the ultimate advantage. The journey starts now. Are you ready to discover how to rule your words, mind, mood, and money, and change your life from the inside out? Let's unlock these secrets together, starting with the very first step on the path to self-mastery. Mastering your words, the first step to real self-control and respect in modern life. So many of our daily problems can be traced back to something simple but powerful: the way we use our words. Whether it's regret after saying something harsh, feeling misunderstood, missing out on an opportunity, or just not feeling respected by others, often the root cause is our inability to truly control our mouths. What if, instead of letting your mouth run your life, you could flip the script and speak with purpose and power? 1. Speak only when your words matter. Many people equate talking more with being important, knowledgeable, or impressive in a group. The reality, though, is often the opposite. People who speak the most are not always the ones others listen to or respect. Those who choose their words carefully, who think before they speak, are the ones whose voices have true impact. Every word they say carries weight and value. Think about meetings or conversations you've been in. The people who make the strongest impression are rarely the loudest. They're the ones who contribute when it truly matters. They don't fill the air just to avoid silence or to show off. Instead, they bring value with every sentence, and as a result, others naturally pay attention. 2. The power of silence. A lot of people are uncomfortable with silence. There's a fear that if you don't speak up, you'll appear boring, uninvolved, or less intelligent. But silence used wisely is one of the most powerful tools you can have. Silence signals confidence and control. It shows that you don't feel pressured to prove yourself with every breath. Only people who know their own worth can be comfortable with letting the moment breathe. Silence also protects you from saying things you don't mean. Instead of reacting impulsively, snapping back at a criticism, correcting someone immediately, or feeling the need to defend yourself, silence gives you the time to assess the situation. Is your response really needed, or is it just your pride talking? Are you about to say something helpful, or just add to the noise? The strongest people know when to hold their tongue. They keep their energy for the moments that truly matter. 3. Words reflect your inner world. How you speak is more than just a window into your thoughts. It's a mirror for your emotional state and your sense of self-control. People who speak carelessly or excessively are often unsettled inside, letting their words run wild because they haven't learned to manage their own emotions or impulses. On the other hand, those who speak slowly, intentionally, and calmly are typically steady inside as well. Their inner world is reflected in the composure and purpose of their speech. Have you ever caught yourself blurting out something you regretted? That's more than just a slip of the tongue. It's a sign that your emotions are steering the ship, not your conscious mind. Start training yourself to pause, reflect, and think. Does this need to be said? Is this the best use of my energy? This small habit will change the way others see you and how you see yourself. 4. Resist the urge to react instantly. It's easy to get caught up in the moment, especially when your ego feels threatened. Someone makes a sharp comment or challenges you, and you feel an almost automatic urge to fire back. But this is rarely productive. In fact, the people who are truly respected aren't the ones who win every argument or always have the last word. They're the ones who know when to stay quiet and save their energy for bigger battles. Make it a rule for yourself. Before you speak, ask if your words will help the situation, bring clarity, or make things better. If not, consider saying nothing. You don't need to prove yourself every time. You don't need to correct every mistake you hear or answer every provocation. Wisdom means choosing your battles and using your words for building, not tearing down. 5. Practice makes progress. Build the habit. Controlling your mouth is not something you achieve overnight. It's a discipline that takes daily effort. Start by becoming aware of your triggers. Notice the situations or people that make you want to speak impulsively. Next, practice the art of the pause. When you feel that urge to blurt something out, take a deep breath and think before you let the words escape. If you do say something you regret, don't beat yourself up. Learn from it. The key is not perfection, but progress. Over time, you'll find yourself speaking less, but saying more. Your words will carry greater weight, and people will notice the shift in your presence. Conclusion. Words are some of the hardest things in life to control, but they are also among the most powerful. Your ability to manage what comes out of your mouth determines your emotional well-being, the respect you command, and the quality of your relationships. Mastering your mouth is the foundation for mastering your life. When your words are deliberate and valuable, you become the kind of person others admire, trust, and remember. Pause before you react. The key to emotional control and lasting peace. Every day, we're put in situations that test our emotions. Someone cuts us off in traffic. A coworker says something rude. A family member criticizes us unexpectedly. Most people react in the moment, their emotions rushing to the surface and controlling their response. But what if you could change that pattern? What if, instead of being a prisoner to every passing feeling, you could pause, regain control, and choose your response with wisdom and strength? 1. The trap of instant reactions. We've all been there. Someone pushes your buttons, and before you know it, you've snapped back. A few minutes or hours later, you replay the situation in your mind and wish you had handled it differently. This is a common experience because so few of us are taught the value of pausing before we react. Reacting instantly feels natural, but it often leads to regret, damaged relationships, and unnecessary drama. The problem is, when we react without thinking, we're giving away our power. We let someone else's words or actions dictate our behavior. In that split second, we hand over control of our mood, our actions, and sometimes even our future. Instead of acting from our values and intentions, we become puppets to the emotions of the moment. 2. The power of the pause. What does it mean to pause? It's not about suppressing your feelings or pretending not to care. It's about creating a small space between what happens to you and how you respond. Even just 2 or 3 seconds of conscious pause can change the whole trajectory of a moment. In that gap, you can take a breath, Check in with yourself and decide if your initial urge to react is truly the best choice. Pausing is a sign of maturity and strength, not weakness. Anyone can lash out, but it takes discipline to hold back, assess the situation, and choose a response that aligns with your goals and values. This small act of self-control can prevent countless regrets and bring a new sense of peace to your daily life. 3. From reaction to response. How to build the habit. Like any skill, learning to pause before you react takes practice. Start by noticing the situations that trigger strong emotions in you: anger, frustration, embarrassment, or anxiety. These are your hot spots, and they're perfect opportunities to build your pause muscle. When you feel the urge to react, do this. Take a slow, deep breath. Let your body know it's okay to slow down. Acknowledge your feeling. Say to yourself, "I'm angry," or "I feel hurt." Naming the emotion helps you separate from it and view it more objectively. Ask yourself, does this need an immediate response? Is it worth my energy? Will saying something now help or hurt? Choose your next step intentionally. Sometimes the best choice is to respond calmly. Other times it's best to say nothing, walk away, or revisit the conversation later. At first you'll find this hard, especially if you're used to being quick-tempered or defensive. You might feel awkward or even weak for not reacting right away. But over time, you'll start to notice that you feel more in control, your relationships improve, and your self-respect grows. 4. Emotional triggers. Not everyone deserves a reaction. One powerful insight is realizing that not every comment or action deserves your emotional investment. Some people know exactly how to provoke you. Others are simply careless or dealing with their own problems. By pausing, you reclaim your power. You remind yourself that your emotions are signals, not commands. If someone insults you, you don't have to return the insult. If someone tries to start an argument, you don't have to join the fight. If a situation gets heated, you can choose to be the calm one, the anchor in the storm. This is not about letting people walk over you, but about refusing to let them control your behavior. 5. The ripple effect of emotional control. When you practice pausing before reacting, the benefits go far beyond just feeling better in the moment. You start to notice less drama and conflict. Many arguments simply fade away when you don't take the bait. Stronger, more trusting relationships. People begin to see you as calm, reliable, and safe to talk to, even in tough times. Better decision-making. With your emotions in check, you think more clearly and act with intention. Greater self-respect. Each time you pause, you reinforce the belief that you're in control of your life, not your anger or frustration. 6. Make pausing a daily practice. You won't be perfect. There will still be days when you react impulsively, but with practice, pausing becomes more natural. Build reminders into your day. Set a notification on your phone or write "pause" on a sticky note at your desk. After a challenging conversation or stressful situation, review how you handled it and how you might pause more effectively next time. Most importantly, forgive yourself when you slip up. Emotional mastery is a lifelong journey, not a one-time fix. Conclusion. Pausing before you react is a simple habit, but it's the foundation of emotional intelligence, healthier relationships, and a calmer, happier life. The next time you feel your emotions rising, remember, your power is in the pause. Take a breath, think, and choose the response that serves you best. Over time, you'll find that you control your mood, your words, and your life, no longer at the mercy of every passing feeling. Feed your mind well. How positive thoughts shape your life. Most people underestimate the power of their minds. We often assume our thoughts are random, something that simply happens to us, not something we can shape. But the truth is, what you feed your mind directly shapes your actions, habits, mood, and ultimately, the results you get in life. Imagine your mind as a fertile garden. What you plant and nurture will grow, whether it's weeds of worry or seeds of wisdom and strength. 1. You become what you think. The reality is that your thoughts create the foundation for everything you do. If you constantly fill your mind with worries, doubts, or negative stories, whether from social media, the news, or toxic conversations, your inner world becomes crowded and chaotic. This mental clutter leads to overwhelm, indecision, and a sense of hopelessness. You wake up already tired, feeling like you're stuck in place. But when you consciously choose to focus on positive, wise, and uplifting ideas, your life changes from the inside out. Your thoughts shape your attitude, and your attitude shapes your reality. When you feed your mind encouragement, possibility, and inspiration, you'll notice yourself thinking more clearly, feeling more confident, and acting with greater determination. 2. Choose your mental diet carefully. Think about the information you consume each day. Are you scrolling endlessly through negative headlines or arguments? Are you surrounding yourself with people who complain, blame, and discourage? The content you allow into your mind is just as important as the food you put into your body. If you eat junk, your body suffers. If you feed your mind negativity, your outlook and decisions suffer as well. Start making conscious choices about your mental diet. Read books or articles that inspire growth, hope, and discipline. Watch or listen to content that teaches, uplifts, and motivates. Engage in conversations that challenge you to think bigger, act better, and believe in yourself. Limit exposure to gossip, complaints, or doom scrolling. Be intentional about what gets your attention, because attention is energy. 3. Positive self-talk. Become your own coach. One of the most overlooked aspects of mental health is the way we talk to ourselves. If your inner voice is constantly criticizing, doubting, or reminding you of your failures, it's hard to build momentum or confidence. But you can change this by practicing positive self-talk. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending problems don't exist. Instead, it's about becoming a supportive coach to yourself. Replace statements like, "I can't do this," with, "I'm learning how to do this." Instead of replaying your mistakes, remind yourself of your strengths, your progress, and the fact that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Over time, this inner encouragement will help you face obstacles with resilience rather than fear. 4. Curate your circle. Minds are contagious. The people you spend time with influence your thinking more than you may realize. If you surround yourself with negative, fearful, or limited people, their mindset will slowly seep into yours. On the other hand, if you spend time with positive, ambitious, and solution-focused individuals, their attitude will lift you up and inspire you to raise your standards. This doesn't mean you must cut people out of your life entirely, but it does mean being mindful of whose opinions and attitudes you allow to take root in your mind. Seek out relationships and communities that support your goals and values. 5. Train your focus. What you water grows. It's natural to have doubts, worries, or bad days. The key isn't to pretend these feelings don't exist, but to avoid letting them take over. Whenever you notice yourself dwelling on problems or limitations, Intentionally shift your focus toward solutions and possibilities. This can be as simple as asking, "What's one step I can take today to improve this situation?" Or, "What can I learn from this?" Practice gratitude by focusing on what's working, even on tough days. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each morning or evening. This simple habit trains your mind to look for opportunities, not just obstacles. 6. Make mental nourishment a daily habit. Like any muscle, your mind grows stronger with regular, intentional training. Set aside time each day to feed your mind well. Read a chapter of an inspiring book. Listen to a motivational podcast, or reflect on lessons you've learned. The goal isn't perfection, but consistency. Each day you make a positive deposit in your mental bank account. Your strength and clarity increase. If you notice yourself falling back into negative thought patterns, don't be discouraged. Simply notice, pause, and choose a better thought. Over weeks and months, this habit transforms not only your thinking, but your mood, your energy, and your results. 7. The ripple effect. Your mind shapes everything. When you control what enters your mind, you control what comes out in your actions and choices. A well-fed mind is the foundation for calm speech, steady moods, wise decisions, and healthy finances. If you want to improve any area of your life, start with what you're feeding your thoughts. Will you choose to let your mind become a dumping ground for fear, doubt, and negativity? Or will you become the conscious gardener, planting seeds of wisdom, courage, and hope? Conclusion. Feeding your mind with positivity and wisdom is a daily act of self-respect and discipline. It is the root of every good habit and the shield against the chaos of the world. Begin today. Read, listen, watch, and think with intention. Your thoughts are the blueprint for your life. When you control your mind, you unlock the door to a life of clarity, confidence, and real success. Set boundaries to protect your peace. The power of saying no. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, stretched thin, and mentally exhausted. For many people, this isn't simply a matter of being busy. It's a sign that their personal boundaries are weak or unclear. When you don't set healthy limits, your time, energy, and mental well-being are constantly at risk. Learning to establish and maintain boundaries is a vital skill for anyone seeking a calmer, more focused, and fulfilling life. 1. Why boundaries matter for mental peace. Boundaries are the invisible lines that define what is acceptable and unacceptable in your life. Without them, you might feel as if everyone and everything has access to you at any time. You may constantly say yes to requests, take on more work than you can handle, or allow others to speak to you in ways that drain your spirit. Over time, this leads to stress, resentment, and a loss of your own identity. Setting boundaries is not about building walls to shut people out. Instead, it's about creating clear guidelines for how you want to be treated, what you are willing to accept, and where your limits lie. These guidelines protect your mental peace by ensuring that your needs, values, and priorities come first. 2. Recognize when your boundaries are weak. Do you often feel overwhelmed by others' demands? Do you struggle to say no, even when you know you should? Do you let work invade your personal time, or allow toxic conversations to fill your day? These are all signs that your boundaries need strengthening. When boundaries are weak or unclear, your mental energy gets scattered. You may find yourself constantly distracted, unable to focus, or feeling anxious without knowing why. Over time, this can lead to burnout, a state where you feel emotionally depleted and unable to enjoy life. 3. Know your limits and honor them. The first step in setting healthy boundaries is to know your own limits. Everyone has a different capacity for stress, responsibility, and emotional labor. Pay attention to when you start to feel overwhelmed, resentful, or exhausted. These feelings are your mind's way of signaling that a boundary has been crossed. Once you know your limits, give yourself permission to honor them. Understand that you are not responsible for making everyone else happy. Your mental well-being is your most valuable asset, and protecting it is an act of self-respect. 4. Communicate your boundaries clearly and calmly. One reason many people struggle with boundaries is the fear of disappointing others or being seen as selfish. However, setting boundaries is not an act of aggression. It's an honest communication about your needs. Practice expressing your boundaries in a calm and clear way. You don't need to offer lengthy explanations or apologies. For example, I'm not available for work calls after 6 p.m. I'm not comfortable discussing this topic right now. I need some time for myself this weekend. Some people may resist or try to push past your boundaries at first, especially if they are used to you always being available. Stay consistent and firm. Over time, most people will come to respect your limits, and you'll feel empowered for having stood your ground. 5. Protect your focus and mental space. Every interruption, whether it's a notification, a phone call, or a person demanding your attention, chips away at your ability to concentrate. By setting boundaries, you create space in your day to focus on what matters most. This might mean turning off notifications, carving out time for deep work, or simply saying no to extra responsibilities. Clear boundaries also protect you from being dragged into negativity. Limit your exposure to toxic conversations, gossip, or excessive news and social media. Decide how much time you are willing to give to these influences, and stick to your limits. Your mind is precious. Don't let it be a dumping ground for drama and anxiety. 6. Emotional boundaries. Don't absorb everyone's problems. Caring for others is important, but you are not obligated to carry everyone else's emotional burdens. Emotional boundaries mean knowing when to support and when to step back. It's okay to offer empathy without taking responsibility for solving every problem. If a person or situation is harming your mental health, take steps to limit your exposure or seek support. Remember, protecting your peace is not selfish. It's necessary for your overall well-being and your ability to show up fully in your relationships and commitments. 7. Boundaries are a daily practice. Life will constantly test your boundaries. Some days it will be easy to say no. Other days, you may find it difficult. The key is to keep coming back to your commitment to protect your mental peace. Each time you reinforce a boundary, you grow stronger and more resilient. Don't be discouraged by setbacks. Progress is about consistency, not perfection. If you let a boundary slip, reflect on what happened and recommit to your well-being. 8. Take action. Start small and build confidence. Choose one area of your life where your boundaries are weak, maybe at work, in a particular relationship, or with your use of technology. Decide what you want to change and practice communicating that boundary clearly. Each small step builds confidence and makes it easier to set boundaries in other areas of your life. Conclusion: setting boundaries is an act of courage and self-care. It is the foundation for mental peace, healthy relationships, and a focused, purpose-driven life. When you honor your limits and communicate them with clarity, you reclaim control over your mind, your mood, and your energy. Protect your peace and you'll find you have more to give, not less, to yourself and to the world around you. Master your mood. The power of daily check-ins and intentional emotional resets. Your mood is the silent director behind much of your day. It influences how you act, how you think, and how you relate to others. Many people drift through their days unaware of the subtle and not so subtle shifts in their mood, letting it dictate their decisions, productivity, and relationships. But what if you could become the driver of your own mood instead of its passenger? The answer lies in building the habit of daily mood check-ins and intentional emotional resets. 1. Why your mood matters more than you think. Moods are not just fleeting feelings. They're powerful forces that color your perceptions and shape your behavior. A good mood can make small problems seem manageable, energize you to tackle new challenges, and help you connect positively with others. A bad mood, on the other hand, can make you irritable, closed off, and more likely to make impulsive or poor decisions. Unfortunately, most people don't regularly stop to consider their mood. They let it flow unchecked, good or bad, often unaware that it's even possible to shift it. This lack of awareness can lead to cycles of stress, frustration, and negativity that build up over time and affect every area of life. 2. What are daily mood check-ins? A mood check-in is a simple, conscious pause to ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? What's my emotional state? What thoughts are running through my mind? By doing this a few times a day, morning, midday, evening, you shine a light on your inner world. This act alone brings your emotions out of the background and into your conscious awareness. Mood check-ins aren't about judgment or criticism. They're about honest observation. Maybe you notice you're anxious before a big meeting, tired after lunch, or suddenly frustrated after reading an email. By naming your mood, you create space to decide what to do next, instead of simply reacting out of habit. 3. Recognizing patterns and triggers. The more consistently you check in with your mood, the more patterns you'll begin to notice. Perhaps you're always irritable after a certain meeting, or your energy drops when you skip breakfast. These insights are gold. They give you the power to anticipate, prepare for, and manage your emotional landscape proactively. You might also discover positive patterns. Maybe listening to music lifts your spirits, or a walk outside clears your mind. These become your emotional tools, practices you can rely on to maintain or reset your mood when needed. 4. Intentional resets. Shifting your mood on purpose. Recognizing a bad mood is only the first step. The real magic happens when you take conscious action to reset your emotional state. This is what separates emotionally intelligent people from those who feel tossed around by life. Intentional resets can take many forms. Physical movement. Go for a brisk walk, stretch, or do a few jumping jacks to change your energy. Change your environment. Step outside, open a window, or move to a quieter space. Practice gratitude. Write down 3 things you're grateful for right now. Breathing exercises. Slow, deep breaths can calm your mind and body almost instantly. Connect. Call a supportive friend, or simply smile at someone nearby. Listen to music. Uplifting or calming music can help transform your emotional state. Mindful reflection. Take 5 minutes to meditate, or simply sit in silence and observe your thoughts. The key is not to pretend everything is fine or to ignore your feelings, but to recognize them and then choose a healthier, more helpful state of mind. Sometimes Even a tiny action can break the momentum of negativity. 5. Building mood awareness into your routine. Like any skill, mood awareness and emotional resetting get easier with practice. Make it a habit to pause and check in with yourself at set points during the day. Maybe after you wake up, at lunch, and before bed. Use reminders on your phone or notes on your desk. Keep a simple journal or use a mood tracking app to record how you're feeling and what's affecting you. After a week or two, review your notes. Notice what works and what doesn't. Over time, you'll become more attuned to your emotional ups and downs and much better equipped to navigate them. 6. The ripple effect. Mood and your whole life. When you master your mood, the benefits ripple out to every part of your life. You become less reactive and more intentional. Your relationships grow stronger because you don't explode or withdraw without explanation. Your decision-making improves. You spend less impulsively, communicate more effectively, and approach challenges with a steadier hand. Crucially, you gain a sense of inner calm. Stress and negativity don't vanish, but they no longer run the show. You become the calm anchor in your own life, able to weather ups and downs with resilience. 7. Progress, not perfection. No one can control their mood perfectly all the time. There will be days when frustration, sadness, or anxiety get the better of you. The goal is not perfection, but progress. Every check-in, every intentional reset is a step toward greater self-mastery. Celebrate your growth. Over time, daily mood awareness becomes second nature, a quiet superpower that changes how you experience every day. Conclusion. Your mood doesn't have to control you. With regular check-ins and intentional resets, you can shape your emotional world, boost your well-being, and create a foundation for lasting peace and productivity. Start today. Pause, notice, and choose your next mood, one moment, one day at a time. Break the habit of complaining. Build a solution-focused mindset for a better life. It's easy to complain. Life is full of frustrations, big and small. Traffic jams, rude people, slow internet, work stress, family misunderstandings, and endless news about what's wrong with the world. For many, complaining feels natural, even necessary, a way to vent, bond, or express dissatisfaction. But what if the habit of complaining is secretly sabotaging your happiness, progress, and even your relationships? If you want to gain real control over your mood, mind, and actions, learning to shift from complaining to solution-focused thinking is a powerful place to start. 1. The hidden cost of complaining. Complaining is more than just expressing frustration. It is a habit that quietly drains your energy and clouds your thinking. Each time you focus on what's wrong, without trying to change it, you reinforce a mindset of helplessness and blame. Your attention lingers on problems, and your sense of power over your own life fades away. Even worse, constant complaining can create a negative atmosphere not only for you, but for those around you. It pulls others into cycles of pessimism, encourages gossip, and often leads to more frustration rather than less. 2. Complaining versus problem solving. It's important to recognize the difference between raising a genuine concern, which can be healthy and productive, and chronic complaining. When you complain, you often repeat the same problems without looking for answers or taking action. The conversation becomes stuck, circling around what's broken, who's to blame, or why things will never change. Problem solving, on the other hand, is forward-focused. You acknowledge the challenge, but your main energy goes toward, what can I do about this? It's not about pretending everything is fine or ignoring your feelings. It's about taking ownership of your response and looking for a way forward. 3. Awareness, the first step to change. Most people don't realize how much they complain until they start paying attention. Take a day or two to notice your thoughts and words. Do you find yourself complaining about the weather, your workload, other people, or even yourself? When you do, pause. Ask, is this complaint helping me in any way? Is it leading to action, or just creating more frustration? This awareness alone is a powerful shift. You can't change a habit you don't recognize. By noticing when and why you complain, you open the door to a new, more empowered way of thinking. 4. Reframe and refocus. Shift towards solutions. Every time you catch yourself complaining, challenge yourself to refocus. Instead of dwelling on the problem, ask, what can I do about this right now? What's one small step I could take to improve this situation? If work is overwhelming, can you prioritize tasks or ask for help? If a relationship is strained, could you start a calm conversation or set a boundary? If money is tight, could you review your spending or look for a way to earn extra income? You won't always have an instant answer, but simply shifting your focus from the problem to possible solutions changes your mindset from powerless to proactive. 5. Surround yourself with solution seekers. The company you keep affects your mindset. If you're surrounded by complainers, you'll find it much harder to break free from the habit yourself. Seek out people who focus on progress, who discuss ideas and actions, not just what's wrong. If you notice certain conversations spiraling into negativity, try to gently steer them toward solutions, or excuse yourself if you need to protect your mental energy. You can be compassionate without letting yourself be pulled into endless cycles of complaining. 6. Make it a daily habit. Building a solution-focused mindset is a skill that grows with practice. Here are some strategies you can try. Set a daily no complaints challenge. Each time you catch yourself complaining, pause and reframe. Keep a solution journal. Write down challenges you face, then list possible solutions, even small ones. Practice gratitude. At the end of each day, note things that went well or problems you handled with a solution mindset. Reward progress. Celebrate when you shift from complaint to action, no matter how small. Over time, you'll notice your mind becoming sharper, your mood lighter, and your actions more productive. 7. Solutions and money. The link. Complaining doesn't solve financial stress. It often makes it worse by trapping you in a sense of lack and frustration. Solution-focused thinking empowers you to take practical steps: budgeting, reducing unnecessary expenses, increasing income, or seeking advice. These actions, however small, build confidence and open new possibilities. 8. Progress, not perfection. Everyone falls into the trap of complaining now and then. The goal isn't to be perfect, but to become more aware, more intentional, and more committed to growth. When you slip up, use it as a reminder to refocus on what you can change. Conclusion. Complaining is easy, but it keeps you stuck. Solution-focused thinking takes effort, but it sets you free. By making a conscious choice each day to notice complaints and redirect your energy toward answers, you build resilience, self-respect, and a life of progress. Start now. Catch your next complaint and turn it into your next solution. Track every expense. Take control of your money and your life. For many people, money seems to slip through their fingers. You get paid, pay some bills, buy a few things here and there, and suddenly the end of the month arrives, and you have no idea where your money went. This cycle leads to stress, frustration, and the sense that financial security is always out of reach. But there is a simple, powerful solution. Track every expense, no matter how small. By making this a daily habit, you regain control not only of your money, but of your future. 1. Why tracking expenses matters. Most financial problems don't start with huge mistakes. They start with tiny leaks, unnoticed spending, forgotten subscriptions, daily coffees, impulsive buys. Over time, these small expenses add up to significant sums, draining your resources and sabotaging your savings. Without tracking, it's impossible to see where your money is really going, let alone make a plan for improvement. When you track every expense, you shine a light on your financial habits. You become aware of your patterns, your strengths, and your weaknesses. Awareness is the first and most important step to change. 2. Awareness brings accountability. Tracking expenses is about more than writing down numbers. It's about building financial self-awareness and accountability. When you know you'll have to record every purchase, you start to think twice before spending. Do you really need that extra snack, that impulse buy, or that upgrade? The act of tracking alone naturally curbs careless spending. This new level of accountability helps you resist social pressure and marketing tactics designed to make you spend without thinking. You start to make choices that reflect your true values and priorities, rather than reacting to every temptation or trend. 3. Finding a tracking method that works for you. There's no single best way to track expenses. Some people love using a classic notebook and pen, jotting down every payment as it happens. Others prefer spreadsheets, budgeting apps, or even keeping receipts in a jar for review at the end of the week. The key is to pick a system you can stick to every single day. Digital tools like expense tracking apps can make the process quick and easy. Many apps categorize your spending, create charts, and even send reminders. But the tool is less important than your commitment to consistency. Even a scrap of paper can work if you use it faithfully. 4. Include every expense, no matter how small. It's tempting to ignore small purchases, your morning coffee, a pack of gum, that online subscription you forgot about. But these tiny amounts are often the biggest culprits behind financial leaks. Include every expense, no matter how minor. When you add them up, you may be shocked at how much money quietly disappears each month. Being honest and thorough in your tracking is vital. Don't fudge the numbers and don't leave out cash payments or split bills. The more accurate your records, the more powerful your insights. 5. Review and reflect, finding patterns and solutions. Once you've tracked your expenses for a week or a month, take some time to review your data. Where is your money going? Are there categories that surprise you? Are you spending more on food delivery than you realized, or paying for services you no longer use? Look for patterns, both good and bad. Maybe you notice you spend more when you're stressed or tired. Maybe weekends are your spending danger zone. These insights help you create strategies to manage your money more effectively. This regular review also makes budgeting easier and more realistic. Instead of guessing, you can allocate your income based on real-life spending patterns. 6. Use tracking to set goals and make changes. With a clear picture of your spending, you're ready to set specific financial goals. Maybe you want to save for a trip, pay off debt, or build an emergency fund. Use your expense data to decide where you can cut back and how much you can set aside each month. Every small change adds up. Cutting a daily $3 coffee adds up to nearly $1,100 a year. Canceling unused subscriptions could free up extra cash for savings or investment. With tracking, every decision becomes intentional. 7. Tracking builds emotional and financial strength. Many people avoid tracking expenses because they fear what they'll find, or they feel it's tedious. But facing the truth is liberating. Instead of feeling anxious or guilty about money, you gain confidence and peace of mind. You know exactly where you stand, and you have the power to change your situation. Tracking also helps you break the cycle of emotional spending, using shopping to cope with stress, boredom, or sadness. When you see the numbers in black and white, you become more mindful of your habits and better equipped to choose healthier coping strategies. 8. Make it a lifelong habit. Financial control is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong journey. Tracking expenses is the foundation of that journey. The more you practice, the easier and more automatic it becomes. With each week, you'll notice your financial decisions improving, your savings growing, and your confidence rising. Conclusion. You can't control what you don't measure. Tracking every expense is a simple but powerful habit that unlocks financial freedom and peace of mind. Start today. Write down every purchase, no matter how small. Review, reflect, and adjust. Soon you'll see that by taking control of your spending, you're also taking control of your future. Your money becomes a tool for your dreams, not a source of stress or regret. Spend only on needs and purposeful investments, the path to financial freedom and peace. One of the greatest sources of stress in modern life is money, or more specifically, how we use it. Many people find themselves caught in a constant cycle of earning and spending, never quite sure where their money goes or why they never seem to get ahead. The real issue often isn't how much you earn, but how and why you spend. By learning to spend only on your true needs and purposeful investments, you take a giant step toward financial stability, freedom, and genuine peace of mind. 1. The cost of mindless spending. Our daily lives are full of temptations, advertisements for the newest gadgets, special offers on fast fashion, easy online shopping, and the subtle pressure to keep up with friends or social media influencers. It's easy to buy things simply because they're there, on sale, or make us feel better in the moment. But this pattern of impulsive, mindless spending drains our bank accounts, fills our homes with clutter, and often leaves us with a sense of regret rather than joy. Ask yourself, how many things have you purchased in the past month that you genuinely needed? How many purchases, if you're honest, were just a momentary fix for boredom, stress, or peer pressure? The truth is, most people spend far more than they realize on things that add little lasting value to their lives. 2. Define your needs, and meet them first. Needs are the basics, the essential things that keep you healthy, secure, and able to function in life. This includes shelter, nutritious food, basic clothing, healthcare, transportation, and, for many, education or job-related tools. Meeting these needs should always be your first financial priority. When your needs are covered, you create a strong foundation that protects you from emergencies and stress. Before every purchase, pause and ask, is this a genuine need or just a want? Needs are not always exciting, but taking care of them brings real peace and security. 3. The power of purposeful investments. Purposeful investments are the next category of wise spending. Unlike mindless shopping, these are choices that add lasting value to your life and future. They include education and courses that improve your skills or open new opportunities, tools or equipment that help you do your work more effectively. Investments in your health, such as gym memberships, quality food, or preventative care. Savings and retirement accounts that build your financial security. Starting or growing a business that can increase your income and impact. Purposeful investments may not bring instant gratification, but over time, they provide security, confidence, and freedom that mindless purchases never can. 4. Delay gratification and question. Every purchase impulse is the enemy of financial health. One of the most effective habits you can build is to delay gratification. Wait a day or two before making non-essential purchases. Often, the urge to buy fades, and you realize you don't actually need the item. Before buying, ask, does this purchase align with my long-term goals? Will it improve my life in a meaningful way? Am I buying this for myself or to impress others? The more intentional you're spending, the less likely you are to fall into regret. 5. Create a personal spending plan. A spending plan, or budget, isn't about restricting joy. It's about giving your money direction and purpose. Set clear categories for needs, investments, and limited wants or fun spending. Allocate your income with intention, so you always know what's covered and what you can truly afford. Review your budget regularly. If you notice that unnecessary spending is creeping in, adjust. Remember, every dollar wasted on impulse is a dollar that could have gone towards something truly meaningful. 6. Beware of hidden expenses and social pressure. Modern life is full of silent expenses. Subscriptions you forget, delivery fees, small online purchases, and costs that slowly add up. Regularly review your bank statements and cancel anything that no longer serves you. Be mindful of social pressure, too. Just because others are spending on luxuries, trips, or trends doesn't mean you have to. Your financial path is unique. Protect it fiercely. 7. Replace comparison with contentment. It's easy to compare your spending to others, especially in the age of social media, where people showcase only the best parts of their lives. But true financial peace comes from living within your means and focusing on your own values and goals. Gratitude and contentment are powerful antidotes to the constant pressure to spend. 8. The ripple effect. Mood, mindset, and money. Purposeful spending does more than build your bank account. It strengthens your self-control, reduces stress, and boosts your confidence. When you see your savings grow and your investments bear fruit, you feel empowered. You sleep better at night, knowing you're building a future instead of living paycheck to paycheck. You'll also find that your relationships improve. Money arguments and stress decrease, and you become a positive example for those around you. Conclusion. Spending only on needs and purposeful investments is a simple but life-changing principle. It's not about deprivation, but about intentional living. When you direct your money toward what truly matters, you unlock financial freedom, peace of mind, and a sense of progress that impulsive purchases can never bring. Start today. Pause before you buy, question every expense, and invest in your future. The rewards will last far longer than any fleeting pleasure. Create a weekly plan. Take charge of your mind and money. Most people go through their weeks in reactive mode, responding to whatever comes up, juggling endless tasks, and by Sunday evening, wondering where their time, energy, and money went. The result is exhaustion, frustration, and a sense that life is just happening to you, rather than you shaping your own path. The antidote? Creating a simple, focused weekly plan for your mental and financial goals. This small habit can dramatically boost your productivity, peace of mind, and progress toward a more meaningful, successful life. Why weekly planning matters. Weekly planning is more than just a to-do list. It's a commitment to intentional living. Without a plan, your energy is scattered on distractions and unimportant details. With a plan, you create direction, purpose, and accountability. You say no to what doesn't matter and yes to what moves you forward. A weekly plan puts you in the driver's seat, helping you use your resources, time, money, and mental focus wisely and strategically. 2. Set clear, specific mental goals. Mental health and clarity don't happen by accident. Each week, choose a few specific goals that support your emotional well-being and mental growth. This could include reading a chapter from an inspiring book, practicing gratitude by writing down 3 good things each day, limiting social media to a set time per day, taking a 10-minute walk outdoors daily, scheduling time for meditation, prayer, or quiet reflection. Don't just say, "I want to feel better," or "I'll be less stressed." Make your goals measurable and actionable so you know exactly what to do. 3. Define financial targets for the week. Financial goals don't have to be huge or overwhelming. Set 1 or 2 achievable targets each week. For example, track every expense no matter how small. Save a specific amount toward an emergency fund. Cook at home 4 nights instead of eating out. Review and cancel unused subscriptions. Spend 1 hour learning about budgeting or investing. Over time, these small steps compound into major progress. 4. Reflect on the previous week. Start your planning session by honestly reviewing the week that just passed. What drained your mental energy? Where did your money go? Which habits helped, and which set you back? This reflection turns mistakes into lessons and highlights where change is most needed. Write down a few notes. Did you overspend on coffee? Get overwhelmed by work emails? Did you feel most calm after morning exercise? Use these insights to shape your new plan. 5. Write it down and make it visible. The act of writing out your weekly plan makes it real and holds you accountable. Don't just keep it in your head. Use a notebook, planner, whiteboard, or a digital tool, whatever works for you. Keep your plan visible in a place you'll see every day, like your desk, fridge, or phone lock screen. Consider sharing your goals with a trusted friend, partner, or family member. When others know your intentions, you're more likely to follow through. 6. Build in mood and mindset check-ins. Alongside your tasks and targets, schedule regular check-ins for your mood and mindset. Pause in the morning, at midday, and in the evening to ask, how am I feeling? What's working? What needs to shift? If you notice rising stress or negativity, make an intentional reset. Take a walk, listen to music, or simply breathe deeply for a few minutes. These tiny adjustments prevent small problems from becoming major setbacks. 7. Review finances. Midweek and end of week. Don't wait until the month ends to review your money habits. Each week, take a few minutes to check in. Are you staying on budget? Have any unexpected expenses come up? Are you meeting your savings goals? If you overspent, don't get discouraged. Just adjust your plan for the following week. Remember, progress is built on consistent small improvements, not perfection. 8. Stay flexible. Focus on progress. Life is unpredictable, and no plan is perfect. You'll encounter surprises, setbacks, and busy days. That's okay. The point of a weekly plan isn't to follow it rigidly, but to give yourself structure and direction. If something urgent comes up, adapt your plan with self-compassion. What matters most is that you keep returning to your intentions week after week. If you miss a goal, don't beat yourself up. Instead, reflect, learn, and keep going. Consistency and self-kindness build resilience and lasting change. 9. Weekly planning creates powerful habits. As you plan each week, you develop skills in focus, self-awareness, and discipline. You become better at recognizing what drains you and what fuels you. You make smarter money choices, see patterns in your spending, and discover ways to maximize your time and energy. These habits compound over months and years, creating the foundation for financial freedom, mental clarity, and a sense of deep fulfillment. Conclusion. You have more power than you realize to shape your own week, your mindset, and your financial future. By taking just 20 minutes to plan each week, setting clear goals, reflecting on your progress, and adjusting as needed, you move from surviving to thriving. A weekly plan is a simple tool, but its impact is life-changing. Start this week. Write your goals, track your progress, and watch your life transform, one week at a time. Learn to say no. Protect your focus and honor your priorities. In our hyper-connected, fast-paced world, distractions are everywhere. Notifications, emails, social media, endless invitations, and competing demands all pull our attention in 1,000 directions. It's easy to say yes to every request, every alert, every passing urge, until you realize your days are filled with things that matter little, while your real priorities are neglected. Learning to say no to distractions and yes to what truly matters is not just a productivity hack. It's the foundation of a meaningful and fulfilling life. 1. The hidden cost of distractions. Every time you say yes to a distraction, you're unconsciously saying no to something important. Each moment spent scrolling your phone, answering non-urgent messages, or attending unnecessary meetings is time and energy taken away from your deepest goals, relationships, and dreams. The true danger is that most distractions don't feel urgent or significant on their own. But over days, weeks, and years, the cumulative effect is enormous. You may find yourself working hard, yet feeling like you're not making real progress, simply because your attention is fragmented. 2. Why saying no feels so hard. Many people struggle to say no because they don't want to disappoint others, fear missing out, or believe they should always be available. There's also a sense of guilt, especially when saying no to colleagues, friends, or family. But every yes you give out of obligation is a no to your own priorities. Remember, your time and energy are limited and precious. If you don't protect them, no one else will. 3. Get crystal clear on your priorities. Before you can say no confidently, you need to know what truly matters most. Take time to list your top priorities. Maybe it's building your business, caring for your health, spending quality time with loved ones, or mastering a new skill. Write them down. When a request or distraction arises, ask yourself, does saying yes support or undermine my priorities? If it doesn't align, your answer should be no, guilt-free. 4. Practice saying no politely but firmly. Saying no doesn't have to be rude or abrupt. Here are a few ways to decline requests gracefully. I appreciate the invitation, but I have to focus on my priorities right now. Thank you for thinking of me, but I can't commit at this time. I'm honored you asked, but I need to say no so I can give my best to my current projects. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Start with small distractions or low-stakes situations, and work up to bigger ones. Each time you honor your boundaries, you reinforce your sense of control and self-respect. 5. Recognize disguised distractions. Distractions often appear as urgent requests or can't-miss opportunities. Not every email needs an instant reply. Not every meeting is necessary. Not every party or outing will add value to your life. Train yourself to pause before responding. Ask, is this urgent or just immediate? Will this move me closer to my goals or pull me off course? Technology can be a major source of disguised distractions. Turn off non-essential notifications. Set boundaries for checking email or social media, perhaps only at certain times of the day. Create focused work blocks where you eliminate all interruptions. 6. Time blocking and deep work. One powerful strategy is time blocking. Dedicating set periods of your day to focus solely on your most important tasks, free from distractions. During these blocks, turn off your phone, close unnecessary tabs, and let others know you're unavailable. Even 30 to 60 minutes of undisturbed, deep work can accomplish more than hours of scattered effort. 7. Say no to your own impulses. Sometimes, the biggest distractions come from within. Procrastination, the urge to check your phone, the temptation to quit when things get tough. Practice self-awareness. Notice your urges, but don't act on them right away. Remind yourself why your priorities matter, and return your focus to what's most important. 8. Surround yourself with support. Your environment and relationships shape your focus. Share your priorities with supportive friends, family, or colleagues. Ask for their understanding when you need to decline invitations or requests. Distance yourself from people or situations that consistently distract or drain you. The more you surround yourself with those who respect your goals, the easier it becomes to say no to distractions. 9. Embrace the benefits. Learning to say no creates space for deep work, creativity, rest, and meaningful connection. You'll feel more accomplished at the end of each day, and your progress will be more aligned with your true values. Over time, you'll notice less stress, fewer regrets, and a greater sense of fulfillment. 10. Progress, not perfection. You won't always get it right. There will be days when distractions win. That's normal. The goal is progress, not perfection. Each time you say no to something unimportant and yes to your real priorities, you build the habit and confidence to do it again. Conclusion. Your life is shaped by what you choose to focus on. Saying no to distractions and yes to your priorities is the gateway to a productive, meaningful, and joyful existence. Protect your time, guard your attention, and honor what matters most to you. With practice, your no will become one of the most powerful tools for building the life you truly want. The deeper meaning. Mastering yourself. Mastering your life. When you step back and look at the journey outlined across all these principles, controlling your words, emotions, thoughts, boundaries, habits, and money, a single truth becomes clear. The greatest freedom and power you can achieve in life comes from mastering yourself. Most people spend their days reacting to the world, responding to the moods of others, the chaos of their environment, the pull of distractions, and the pressures of circumstance. They believe life just happens to them. But the wisdom shared here turns that idea on its head. It teaches that real change, real peace, and real progress always begin from within. Self-mastery isn't about being perfect, rigid, or emotionless. It's about learning to pause before reacting, to choose your words with care, to recognize your feelings but not be ruled by them, and to direct your focus toward what matters most. It's about seeing your mind as a garden, consciously planting positive, wise, and purposeful thoughts, and protecting that space from negativity and clutter. Setting clear boundaries is not selfish, but a declaration that your time, energy, and mental well-being are precious. Tracking your habits and your spending is an act of self-respect. Building routines, making weekly plans, and saying no to distractions are not about missing out, but about creating room for growth, deep work, genuine rest, and meaningful relationships. True success isn't measured only by money, achievement, or the approval of others. It's measured by your sense of inner calm, clarity, and confidence. When you master your words, your mind, your mood, and your money, you experience less stress, regret, and confusion. You gain the freedom to choose your path, adapt to challenges, and find satisfaction in your progress, not just in your outcomes. The journey to self-mastery is ongoing. It's about progress, not perfection. Catching yourself when you fall back into old habits, gently correcting course, and celebrating each small victory along the way. Over time, these daily disciplines compound, reshaping not just your routines, but your entire life. You become someone others respect, trust, and want to be around, not because you're flawless, but because you're intentional, grounded, and authentic. Ultimately, the deeper meaning is this: you are not at the mercy of your circumstances. With discipline, awareness, and intention, you can shape your thoughts, protect your peace, direct your actions, and build a life of meaning and fulfillment. The tools are simple, but their power is profound. Start where you are. Take one step at a time, and watch as mastery of self becomes mastery of life.